April 1st will be a major test for millions of Americans already stressed by the economic impact of COVID-19. Rent will be the first in a series of April bills that many American households won't be able to pay. This comes at a time when, according to the Federal Reserve, only 4 out of 10 Americans would be able to cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing money or running up more credit card debt. While relief is on the way for many, thanks to the $2.2 trillion relief fund signed on March 27th, most people won't see that cash for at least 3 weeks. So, what are some things you can do if you're low on funds and can't pay all your bills right now? First, identify all your recurring and necessary expenses, like housing and utilities. Personal finance expert Stephanie O'Connell says if they can be covered with cash you do have, use those savings.
Take financial inventory of those necessary expenses that happen every month, like your housing cost, your utility cost, your grocery cost, insurance, things that are true needs. And if you have the savings to finance that, that's what your savings is for. You saved that money to spend it in a moment of need. And keeping a roof over your head or keeping food on your table is a moment of need. That said, I think the clearer you can get about your actual costs, the better off you're going to be. Because then once you know how much it costs you to live each month, you can look at the balance in your savings account and say, based on how much it costs me to live on a bare bones budget basis, this is how much is in my savings account, and this is how many months this will last me at this rate.
Second, get in touch with every company or person you owe money to. Depending on where you live and who you're dealing with, you may be able to put some payments on hold, or some may have already been frozen for the time being. Credit card companies and loan providers are often willing to work with customers to implement a payment plan for debt, especially if you have good credit. Some are even offering financial hardship plans in light of the coronavirus. But never assume these plans will be implemented automatically. Be sure to call and ask before you stop paying. Finally, if you've exhausted every option and are still in a tough spot, Stephanie O'Connell says you may have to consider what trade-offs you're willing to make.
If you're at the point where you've checked with every service provider, you've checked with your lenders, you've checked all of the local, federal, and state policies, then you might still be in a position of having to decide, okay, what bills get paid and what bills don't. And in that regard, I think a tool like a credit card can be really, really valuable, because even though credit cards tend to come with pretty high interest rates, the fact is a credit card is going to get you food on the table. And if it comes between having groceries and not, you're going to pick groceries.
According to economists at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, the COVID-19 outbreak could potentially wipe out 47 million jobs in the United States next quarter. This would push unemployment to 32.1%, well above the 24.9% it was during the worst of the Great Depression in the 1930s.